know a lot of event marketers are struggling with, which is measuring ROI and being able to show the worth of their program. Having an understanding of your customer buying cycle and what happens at a trade show, I think allows you to better quantify your ROI, or as I've started to kind of label, I've been saying like pipeline impact. Do you have pipeline impact at your shows? It's not just, hey, how many deals went through? I think there's so many things that happens at a trade show, right? How many deals did you add into the top that maybe were not in your pipeline? Did you add fresh deals in? Those are always what people are looking for. Then do you have any deals that are in your pipeline at a certain stage that are maybe accelerating faster during the period of a trade show? And does this consistently happen year over year? So it's proving that, hey, at this show, for some reason, we move Farmer John and Jane down the road a little bit further for some reason, right? And then also, are we accelerating the purchasing and the closing of deals? Does the rate jump? So I don't really have it figured out just yet, but it's like pipeline impact, because I think everybody's trying to track, okay, we met you at a trade show, we talked to you over X amount of time, we closed this deal, it came from a trade show. But I'll bet you can have a lot of people argue that that lead maybe originated somewhere else, maybe it didn't. You could have a lot of discussions on it and debates, but pipeline impact, I think, is something that goes with this buyer journey because it stretches over a period of time. So I don't know your thoughts on that. I'm kind of flushing it out as I go over time here.
I think it's genius. I will tell you, so we implemented almost 2 years ago now that like we will not work with a client unless we document their customer journey. And the number of people who probably go into a trade show, and you probably come across this more than anybody, that don't even understand their pipeline or customer journey. They just do trade shows because that's what they're supposed to do, right? Step one is like, what is our customer journey? At what point is this trade show intersecting in it? And then who is coming? So if you just wanted to look at pipeline impact, for example, there's kind of 3 buckets I'd be looking at. One, how do we get existing customers to buy more? That's the easiest sale we can possibly have. Those people are the easiest to get to the booth. Number 2, who's our warm prospects? And to your point, how do we accelerate them through the purchase cycle? Okay, that's the second easiest. And the third, how are we getting net new? And if like anyone in the finance or leadership team, if they looked at a trade through those 3 different lenses, it's a lot easier to quantify and justify the trade show expense. But if it's just like, oh, how many sales did we get? Well, 50% of marketing works, 50% doesn't. We just don't know which 50%. Well, we can take that out of the equation if we look at it with just those 3 in mind, because we can see, okay, hey, you know what? I had this guy sitting on the fence. He came to the booth, he bought. I can check that off as that was the catalyst. Or, hey, these deals are now into negotiation post-event. I can check that off. And hey, now we have 20% more leads. I can measure that. But if they just lump it all into one, it's really hard to measure.
You know what it makes me think of? We were working with a client once and we're sort of having these discussions about, tell us about the customer. How many different types are they? Who are they? Why are all these different discussions? And that kind of bled into, where are you having issues? And one of the issues that said they were having was dealing with their current customers, because you're at a trade show and you're just getting, there's all these new shiny objects and you're like, oh, and you're chasing them, but you forget for this, and it's not all companies, but for this one, in our discovery phase, we started learning that, hey, they have an issue where a big number of their customers are there and they are looking for help with the software. One-on-one, sit down, walk me through. I've been integrating this for the last X months or whatever it is, and I'm struggling. And it was a simple solution. We just built out this area, a designated area. It's like comfortable, relaxing, inviting, a cool little hangout with a demo stand and everything. And it was like everybody in their space just knew this is for our customers. So then they had people coming over and we're like, yeah, John's over there. He can help you. No problem. We're ready for this. And worked. So just understanding those little pieces and making those adjustments, I think, can be vital at your shows.
But see, how many people, like if they came to you and said, hey, like this is our customer journey, and they came to you as like the trade show partner and they knew the type of experience, like it makes your job that much easier. Like you can build something that's going to help them get a better return. But I think if people just slowed down a little bit and just looked at the landscape of what they're trying to do,
yeah,
they could move a lot faster.